welcome to the first edition of Lena'S Lane. My name is Helena Yago. I'm the press secretary for the city of Highland Park. I would like to thank Highland Park for allowing me to have this opportunity to share our communication and spread positive information and also discuss necessary information that's needed to be communicated within the city. So today, on my first show, I would like to introduce three, right now it's only two sitting up here, but I would like to introduce to you three women entrepreneurs from Highland Park. Now I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. The first young lady, she's got a tailoring company on Woodward and Highland Park, and I'm gonna let her tell you her name and what exactly her business entails. So Lena's not the only one in her lane. These ladies all have their own unique businesses and products to share with you. Kristen, tell us more about yourself.
Myself or just Backstage?
Just Backstage.
Just
Backstage,
Backstage.
your company. Tell us about your company.
So, my business is Backstage. It's a underlying tag of alterations and more. So I basically do general alterations. I also do a little bit of custom work, and I offer ready-made things as well. I've been there maybe since about January, officially on paper in January, but I was in the building since December. It's been a little pivot from working out of my home, so it's really nice to have the space right now.
And we love having you. You know, it's you're becoming a hot topic in Highland Park as well as Detroit. You've been in a few articles as well in Detroit magazines. Okay, so how did the idea for your business come about?
It kind of just was a little organic. I was working for a couple different people. Like at one point, I was working at a leather repair place, and then at another time, I was working for a couple other tailors around the city. And the last tailoring job that I was working for, I was like, man, I could really see myself like doing this daily and just being able to sew full time. And just looking around my own neighborhood, I kind of realized like, man, there's not really like a tailor shop in the area. So
Nowhere.
yeah, nowhere. So I was like, well, let's shop around, and it just kind of happened from there. So
And so I'm so glad you're here because we really needed it. And another young lady we have right here is Kelly Harge. Kelly Harge also, she's in her own lane. When I tell you she's in her own lane, she's really in her own lane. Kelly, tell us about your business.
Well, my business is called Revolution Roll, and it is a tour shuttle service. It's more entertainment for the city of downtown Detroit. We have, I do short distance rides as well. So, well, I call it last mile shuttle service. Right.
But you also do custom tours as well, right?
Yes, definitely custom. I want it to be more custom because the customer really knows what they want to see in the city. And if someone is visiting the city, then they also can they may have an idea of what they want to see, and then I can just take them to that place. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm so glad to have both of you guys here. One question I want to ask you, Kelly, what was your key driving force into becoming an entrepreneur?
My key driving force was I like to have my own time to my time.
All right.
To
all right.
myself.
Don't we all? Right? Don't we all?
And the creativity. You can't be creative in somebody else's space.
Right, right. So, how did you come up for the name of your company, Kristen?
Backstage, it's kind of it's a really simple but still kind of couture sewing term. Like is kind of homegrown, back to the basics, but if you apply it the right way, it holds everything together.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of like the end of it. Like
really
it's the stitch that holds it all together.
That was a lot of thought. That was
So-
very thoughtful. One question I wanted to ask you ladies one at a time. So during this pandemic, I know a lot of small businesses have been affected by this pandemic. We've all been affected, and we've all got PTSD behind this pandemic. And one of the things I want to ask you guys is, how did that affect your business? Kelly, you go first.
Well, closing the state down and things are not open, and my business directly depends on the people. I need the people in order for me to give tours and things of that nature. So without having the people, it's just that I can't operate the way the business was set up to operate. So I had to get creative and do other things, but it's still not consistent. And I need consistency in order to.
I'm sure you had a lot of issues because there's not, how many tuk-tuk businesses is there in Detroit?
There are not any tuk-tuk business in Detroit.
Right.
Actually, it's only four tuk-tuks in the state of Michigan.
Wow.
And I own two that's down in Detroit, and the other two are up in Traverse City.
That's great for you. That's a great
Yes.
thing for you. So you guys make sure that you support Kelly Harge in her revolutionary role. And I'm sure you don't know any tailors or seamstresses nearby anyway as well. Okay, so you, Kristen, you have children, right?
Yes.
Small children, right?
Yes.
How
two
old are
little
they?
boys. A 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. So
So this
Yeah.
how does this affect your life being an entrepreneur?
it's a little chaotic, like as far as the pandemic and everything. I'd already was trying to get out of the house, to work out of the house, so that I would have a space between like work and family time, and then I had to reverse it and go pull all my things back into the house, and what work I could get, and it just, I don't know. It was really
right?
hard.
And dealing with children during this pandemic, during the whole thing, I know it had to be a lot of obstacles because they couldn't go to school. They couldn't.
Luckily, they're not school age, but we are foregoing sending our oldest to school this year.
Okay.
So, and we're fortunate enough that our house has a pretty decent backyard. So, between my husband and I, we, engage with them in different ways around the house. So, take them on drives, take them on walks. What we
Definitely
can
try.
do.
Right, right.
So.
You can't go to any beaches, can't go any Chuck E. Cheese,
No.
can't have any fun. And Kelly, your business. I know you personally. I just want everybody to know this. This is a great friend of mine, excellent friend of mine. I'm one of the best friends that I have. And Kelly is also an awesome vegetarian chef, and she did vegetarian catering. But she broke out with this brand new idea on me, and she like blew me back. And I'm like, Kelly, where'd you come up with this idea? I mean, come on, tell me, how did you come up with this?
Well, originally I started the business with someone else, and we started with a pedicab, but we severed our ties, but I still love the concept of the business. So I thought that, well, I'll just go off and break off on my own and continue to do that, because I think that entertainment is so important in the city, and I think that giving the city something innovative and something new, and us being the Motor City, like, why not bring something that's so
Right.
special to the city?
I mean, and we are growing, and we are becoming like this new little hip town, and we definitely going to need some tours. I mean, we need some tours in Highland Park, too, so don't leave us out. Don't leave us out here in Highland Park.
Definitely. I would love to do tours in Highland Park, because I remember the day when Highland Park had tours, and we
Yes.
still have some beautiful homes, and like now all the homes are cookie cutters. You'll never find anything as special as the homes
Oh.
that's in Highland Park.
No, actually, I remember being in community college at Wayne County Community College long time ago. I'm pretty old. And they have art books that's there about architectural designs. And most of the homes that were in that book were from Highland Park. I was so impressed and proud at the same time, because I'm a proud Highland Parker. I mean, you guys can say whatever you want about Highland Parker, but I moved back home from the west side of Detroit, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I really love Highland Park. So another thing, because we are women. We are African-American women.
Yes.
And I know for myself, dealing in business, dealing in the corporate world, dealing in the educational system, dealing in the film world, that we have different obstacles that men do in this business. And we got to work a little harder. So what obstacles have you had? Can you think of any as a woman making it difficult for you? You go first, Kelly. I love you guys.
I would say, I won't say really difficult, but people deal with you different when you're a female. And, they don't take you as serious. And if you're too rough, then you get this stigma of attitude or something like that. But, you have to be a little bit rough in business, because if not, people walk all over you.
And that's a fact that I'm learning very quickly, because I'm a little bit back when it comes to confrontation,
Yeah.
or just trying to coming off abrasive period. So like when I have to go to City Hall and talk about things like, hey, you guys got to stay on top of this, and I'm like, I paid these things, when can I see this, or things of that nature. I have to kind of like, pull my skirt up a little bit.
Exactly. And you have to stay in it
Yeah.
because people will lax on your own vision, and
Exactly.
you cannot allow them to.
Yes.
No, I've been through that. Trust me, I've been through that. Your business is mobile, but your business is permanent, located in the city of Highland Park. Is there anything you would like to see changed in the city as far as being a business owner there?
That's a really
Tough
broad-
question. You're
Yeah.
going to say that for another show? we
I
can
want to
say-
see a little bit. One thing I would like to see, just like maybe some planter boxes. I would like to see it, beautified a little bit, some trees. That's just from like a outside kind of like visual.
Well,
aspect.
as the press secretary, I can let you know there is a beautification committee coming real soon. So maybe you would like to be a part of that beautification committee. My job here in Highland Park is to make sure that we have the proper communication. And I've been here 51 years. And what I've noticed as the years passed on, when I was a kid, we had great communication within the city. So I think one of our major problems in this city is communication.
Yes, I agree.
And we need to do a lot more of that. And the reason why I asked you, is there anything you would like to see different? Because I want to try to help make that a change for you, because I think Highland Park is a jewel. I think it's
really
very
is.
special city. It means a lot. It was the first city with money in Michigan, first automobile manufacturing place, first freeway in the world, and the 2.9 square miles can be easily transformed back the way it used to be. Another question, Kelly, this is a good one for you. Describe your typical day.
Wow. It starts about 5 o'clock. I get up. I try to do as much administration work as I can. It's a lot.
Because you're solo dolo, right?
Yes.
You're driving, you're taking care of the paperwork,
Everything.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank
I'm so
you.
proud of
Thank
you, lady.
Everything. It's a lot. And I used to stay up to like 1 o'clock in the morning. Now I can't wait for like 10, 11. I'm done. I'm ready to go to bed because I know my days start early. So I want to be the first one to talk to people because I'm my own marketing team as well right now.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, everybody, and we'll be right back with you with some more information from these beautiful ladies. Thank you.
Hi, excuse me, do you have anything for paint?
Straight down that alley.
All right, thank you.
Young lady, this here's what you need.
Ringmaster?
Ringmaster rubbing oil.
How does it work?
By promoting circulation since 1950. Massage it in for best results.
Ringmaster took care of my back pain.
Ringmaster got rid of my knee pain too.
Wow, it sounds like I'm late to the party. I'll take one.
Find Ringmaster at CVS, Davis Drugs, and other fine stores.
Welcome back to Lena'S Lane, and that's me, Helena Yago. And I'm here again from Highland Park, Michigan, but I wanted to talk to you guys about the city of Highland Park. I mean, we kind of get a bad rap now, but when I grew up in Highland Park, the reason why they call Highland Park the city of trees is because there were trees in front of every home in Highland Park. I mean, we had to have the greatest oxygen level on earth. I think that's why people say, you look so young for your age. I was like, oh, that's that old Highland Park oxygen and water. You know, we had our own water plant at the time. So we would have to go to the corners to play to get sunlight because if you drive through the street, down the streets, the trees would cover the streets. And hopefully, real soon, we're working on it. We're trying to replant some more trees, and we're going to bring that oxygen level back up to par. And so, again, we're here with Kristen and Kelly from Backstitch and Revolution Roll. And if you want to call in and ask these young ladies some questions, the phone number is 313-868-0342. 313-868-0342. We're on TV 31.1 Comcast, and you can go to 313 Watkins and also then watch this live. Okay, so I'm going to get back to you, Kristen. What motivates you every day to say, hey, I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to open this business, it's going to be a beautiful day? What motivates you for that?
I 100% would say my kids. They were an integral part of me deciding to even let's take the leap into having a brick and mortar space. I just thinking about like, okay, we need to figure something out so that they'll have something. You know, I think it's important that they see me working this hard, this young.
Yes.
So it's just like, okay, look what mom's doing.
Lead by
I
example.
can do everything too. So that's 100% like.
That's my motivation too as
Yeah.
well. Just to let you know, my kids, my 8 grandkids, and okay, Kelly, what's your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur? What do you love the most?
The creativity. I love to be creative, and I want to express my creativity in the form of, because it's funny, people look at me and say, and they ask this question all the time, strangers, how did you get into something like this?
Yes.
Like, it's so...
I'm your friend, and I want to know, how did you get into something like that?
It's so unique that, you know, and there's no tuk-tuks in Michigan. So it's like they're a South Asia inspired, you know, vehicles, and they like, where did you get this from and why, how? So it's just, I love it. I love putting a smile on the face, and it puts a smile on my face, just like the customer. So
Okay, I know you. So,
Okay.
but this question is, how did you come up with that name, Revolution Roll? I mean, it's strong, it's powerful. Let me know.
actually, my web developer, we was sitting on the phone, and I needed a new name to start my business, and we was just throwing out names and going back and forth, and he was like, yeah, this is like revolutionary.
Yes.
And I was like, that's it. That is the name.
That's you.
Yes.
That's definitely her.
That's the name, Revolution Roll. So it's like, and then I had a little negative pushback with other people with the name. They was like, you sure you want to use Revolution? I was like, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. I don't see any negative connotations in that name at all. So,
I love it. Kristen.
Yes.
Kristen, this young lady, she's so sweet. The day I met her, I just seen her spirit, and she's just so beautiful, and I could just tell that she's a beautiful person inside and out. What do you find? What do you define as being successful? What makes you successful?
Being in a space that you can make ends meet and be happy, and then I feel like I'm given a chance to give back to the community. So it's kind of like a big, I don't know, miasma, if you will.
Yeah,
of
yeah, it's gratification,
yeah,
right?
it's just all of those things together. I don't feel like it's really a monetary thing. I feel like it's just, you know, being put to your purpose.
Right. 'Cause
Being able to,
if you base success on monetary values, you will always be poor.
yes.
yeah.
I really believe that. I truly believe that. So
I do too.
you that was a perfect answer, and I love you for it. She's so sweet. She's just so beautiful. She's just so beautiful.
Yes, she is.
Kelly, what's your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur? What do you love about being an entrepreneur?
I make the decision.
Okay, you little narcissist over here. Go
I
ahead.
make the decisions, and I can have people like you
Yes.
around me. I make the decision because if you go in someone else's environment, you don't get to decide who you work with.
Oh, I've worked in
who-
corporate for years,
Yes,
I know.
and who you let into your space. And I'm very energy protected, so
Yes.
that's the best aspect.
Yes.
I get to decide.
Do you guys meditate?
Not as often as I would like
Yeah,
to.
me too.
I used to more so than I do now.
Yes,
Yes.
meditate to manifest this success that you guys are having. I think it's a beautiful thing. I just want you guys to know that I also have coming real soon. I'm planning a citywide prayer that and when all the information gets together, I'm going to let you guys know because I definitely want both of you ladies there. So, Kristen, I have one more question for you. What kind of culture do you have that exists in your organization? Like culture as far as work ethics and things like that, and how did you establish that?
It's kind of like a treat people how you want to be treated kind
Yes,
of thing. And
yes.
it's just, if you want a welcome environment, you want a happy space, which is why, like, if you remember my shop is a bright blue wall and big
Yeah.
flowers and stuff.
It's beautiful.
Yes, I want it to be more of a welcome home and welcome to a family kind of environment rather than something like going to a Target or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
I get it.
something friendly and familiar.
And
rather than-
what has been your most satisfying moment during this journey?
The fact that I can have a couple repeat customers, people want to keep coming back, and
Exactly.
I love when people want to share like their stories and stuff. Like a lady came in the other day. She brought in her great grandmother's wedding dress, and the great granddaughter's going to wear it. The mom wore it. I think an aunt wore it, and so they were just. I feel really privileged to be a part of that process of I don't know, family tradition. To be able to,
Yes.
that you trust me with a dress that's been in your family so long.
You
So,
said something that reminded me of my great grandma. She told me she was 100 years old when she passed away, and I'm very proud to be her grandchild. And she told me that one of the two most important things and most valuable lessons in life, and you said one of them. And one of them was to treat people like you want to be treated, and also to remember every day you're going to learn something new. She didn't have Alzheimer's. She still played her lottery. She still got her Fago Red Pop and wanted her change at 100 years old. So I'm just so glad that you're so young and you got that value in that part of you inside of you. Those kids is blessed, truly blessed, and your husband is too.
Thank you.
Kelly, I have another question for you. You know I like messing with you. What has been your most satisfying moment?
When I just leaped and bought the tux.
All right.
That when I was so nervous on the inside, but I knew if I did not just commit to it, I wouldn't be here right now.
You have school-age children too as well. How
Yes.
has this affected your life being an entrepreneur with your family and your kids?
Well, I'm glad that they're getting a little bit older, and basically, it's rough because they want to go back to school, but I'm not sending them back because I just don't think that it's safe at this moment. But it's been great because they get to see that entrepreneur side, and I tried to start some entrepreneurial endeavors for them as well. And that youngest one is definitely an entrepreneur.
That's awesome. We're gonna come back and you're gonna tell us more about that because right now we got to take another break. Sorry, but we do. I know you guys want to keep seeing me, but we'll be back.
Hi, excuse me, do you have anything for paint?
Straight down that aisle.
Thank you.
Young lady, this here's what you need.
Ringmaster?
Ringmaster rubbing oil.
How does it work?
By promoting circulation since 1950. Massage it in for best results.
Ringmaster took care of my back pain.
Ringmaster got rid of my knee pain too.
Wow, it sounds like I'm late to the party. I'll take one.
Find Ringmaster at CVS, Davis Drugs, and other fine stores.
We at Watkins Broadcasting care about the health and safety of our viewers and listeners. During this novel coronavirus pandemic, please protect yourself and others. Wash your hands well and often. Avoid touching your face. Cough and sneeze into your sleeve. Practice social distancing. Stay at least 6 feet away from others when in public and only leave the house when it's essential. Stay safe. You are important to us.
All rise.
And we're back to Lena'S Lane, and today I also got a very special woman here in the building. When I think of business in Highland Park, she's one of the first people that comes to mind. I've been patronizing her business since day one. She's a very beautiful, smart, intelligent, warm, welcoming, creative, artistic woman. She means so much to me, and she means so much to Highland Park. You see that? And so I would like to welcome Nandi. Nandi from Nandi's Knowledge Cafe. Hi, Nandi. Why don't you tell the rest of the world how your success... No, wait a minute. Let's start off. Tell them where Nandi's is and tell them what you're about.
Nandi's Knowledge Cafe has been at Highland Park for maybe 15 years
Yep.
now. And I was on Woodward, and now I'm at 71 Oakman Boulevard, and I own my own building.
It's so great.
That's what's so special about. That's what's so special about it.
Yes, everybody here is on their own lanes. Kristen, Kelly, and
Yes.
Nandi. They're all doing their own separate things that nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I want to say about Nandi's is what drew me to Nandi's from the beginning. When I first met her, I fell in love with her. But another thing that drew me about Nandi is because it's Nandi's Knowledge Cafe. I mean, her cafe is filled with knowledge, books, African artifacts. I mean, there's no way you can't walk into Nandi's and not learn something about
That's
life.
right. That's right.
Something about African culture.
Yeah, I call it Nandi's Knowledge Cafe. The motto is where like minds meet, you know, where knowledge is power. And so it's a bookstore. We have probably over 1 million books.
Yeah.
But the move has made me tuck some away till I can rearrange things like I like it. And we have good food. You
Good
know,
food.
we do have good food.
Big space.
Big space. Yeah, I like the space. I've opened up the space since
Yes.
COVID. I opened up the space. There was a wall that needed to be taken down, so we've done that, and we're still working on it. So, I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah, I love the side of
it
town
too.
that I'm on. And me not being a Highland Parker, I realized that they call that space, that side of town backwoods.
Backwoods, nobody goes to.
Backwoods
Yeah,
or
the
something.
boondocks. Yeah. The boondocks, the backwoods, whatever you want to
Backwoods.
call it.
But you know, I went to a meeting not so long ago, and the Means Group is coming back there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they're gonna open that space up into back by LaBelle and all of
Yeah,
that. They're
and,
gonna.
and I just wanted to point out the Means Group is an African American
Yeah, yeah,
company. I
that's
just
what
wanted
makes
to
it
point that out.
excited.
Yes.
Oh, good-looking, gorgeous young black man
Yes,
that's building.
I
the
love
builder.
it.
Yeah,
And as well as the Helms,
And-
right?
and-
Across the street. That's another African American entrepreneur over there.
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
and the Wayne State is engineering school is coming in that area.
Exactly.
So since I've been over there, I want to tend to think I really opened up that space over there because
You
there was
did.
nothing over there when I
You
got there.
did.
And people used to say, "Nandi, why you move over here?
So-
Ain't nothing over here." I said, "I'm over here.
See, that was that good spirit you brought.
I'm
up.
over here.
always.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what-
yeah. Always."
So I want to give a little history on me and Nandi. I actually had my 50th birthday party at Nandi's, which
Yeah.
was the best birthday party I ever had in my life. But my birthday is Christmas, and so nobody ever cares or comes to my birthday. And one year, I don't know if you remember this, Nandi, you were still on Woodward Avenue. You allowed me to come in on my birthday and watch all the black exploitation movies I wanted to watch on Christmas Day. Do you remember that? Yes, I watched Superfly.
You and Kente.
Yes, yes, me and Kente. Me and Kente. So she makes my birthday special all the time. So what's been your greatest inspiration, Nandi?
The community, you know, the young people, it has evolved, and to help the young people grow in their culture is what keeps me inspired. You know, I don't and the elders that come in, they can teach the youth, and so they get to hear about me just through social media or something like that. So to see them inspired to get a new book, because it is true. If you want to hide it, put it in a book.
If you wanna
You know,
hide it,
I'll
put it
skip
in a
the
book.
other little part, you know, and because, but the youth, they keep me inspired.
And they need you.
They do. They want to know. They just want to know the truth. And, you know, I don't mind telling them, where I can point out a book that'll tell them even better, and they can go a little bit deeper.
Yes. As far as this pandemic that went on, I know both of you ladies, like I said, how was it and how hard has it been getting small business loans for you guys?
It's been kind of difficult, but I did have a loan prior to COVID-19. So, and that was part of the business, but with everything's going on with the disaster loan, I've been denied. I haven't been able to get any help as far as through the SBA.
And I hear that's been common with a lot of small, especially African American businesses.
Yeah,
Is
I
that what you
applied
mean?
twice, and I've gotten denied. And for me, it's okay, because I'm a person that always took care of myself. I've always made my money work for me. If I made money that day, I put my money back in my business. So I never did count on many loans, or unless it was just someone that came in and wanted to give me something, or you know,
Absolutely.
front me something. I don't know.
Right.
You know how we do it, but
Well, we come up with what we can
we
come up
with what we
Yeah.
can come up with, you know, because at the end of the day, I actually started my business off of welfare. I actually started my business off of welfare. I remember years ago, when I was on welfare, you had to go to school or get a job. Welfare was always a changing situation. I'll tell any young people, any young person who's on welfare that, you know, they'll say, welfare, it always changed. It always made you work harder, you know, and so, and it's okay. It's a temporary fix. And so I went to school, and it was a business school for 13 weeks. And at the end of the day, it seemed like I could have taught that class because I had been in business so long. I always did business, but just didn't know what I just always did business. And so, but that taught me how to put it on paper.
Yes, yes,
That's
right.
what the business school taught me, how to put it on paper. They had the lawyers there, everything that you had. And at the end of the day, it was a business plan. And that had to be about 21 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a business plan
You stuck with it.
when I came up with Nandi's Knowledge Cafe, the name, so
Right.
it's quite interesting.
Speaking of books with you, Nandi,
Mm-hmm.
is there any business-related books that help inspired you, or?
Oh, hell yeah. You got to get Dr. Claude Anderson, Powernomics.
I'm reading that right now.
Okay,
I
well,
just
we have it
ordered
at Nandi's Knowledge Cafe. Why you order it? I don't like when I hear I ordered it.
You got to go to Nani.
I didn't know. I ordered it directly from Dr. Claude Anderson. So.
Okay, well, that's okay. As long
Okay.
as, it went directly
Yes.
there.
Right.
Okay.
So both you ladies, I'm going to ask you this question. What entrepreneurial advice would you give to any college student right now? You go first, Kelly.
I would definitely say stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Be a voice. Don't let anybody else be the voice for you. Definitely stay grounded because you're going to come up against a lot. But to be an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship and a boss or owning a business is two different things.
Correct.
So, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, grow some tough skin.
Yeah.
That's the best
Yeah.
advice I can give you.
Yeah.
Grow some tough skin.
Yeah.
What about you, Nan?
Yeah.
College students' advice.
The books ain't always what's happening.
Yes.
That's just it, The books ain't what's happening like that. Because like I said, when I took that class, I'm looking at that. I even knew then they was like, you can get an SBA loan. I'm like, I read you got to have $10,000 to get that SBA loan. If I had $10,000,
I wouldn't
it's like
need
$1 million for me. I can make it work. But it ain't the books. It ain't
No.
always the books. It's like you go to school. You don't know what you know till you start a job out of that thing that you went to school for.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like a lie. It's the basis. It gives you words.
Yeah.
You learn words and meanings in college. That's
And
what
how to
you do.
regurgitate.
That's right. That's right. I'm a college graduate.
Me too, right.
Highland Park Community College, Wayne State. I'm a college graduate, but you're now.
Well, my grandmother always told me, you might hear me say this a lot during my show, but my grandmother and my grandfather told me, but book sense don't make no sense without no common sense.
See.
So you got to have a little bit more than just that
Yeah,
education.
yeah,
Because I know many people with bachelor's, master's degrees that still are struggling financially.
Oh God, yeah.
So, but if there was a book to be written about yourself, what would you call it?
God.
I got it, right?
The evolution of Nandi's Knowledge Cafe, business and personal.
That was a great one. What
Yeah,
about you,
I
Kelly?
would do that.
What would I call my book? Wow.
Thank you.
I've always known spiritually.
Okay. That's why you my girl. Okay. Okay. I got another question. If you, Nandi, you first. If you had a magic stick, what 3 things would you change the world with that magic stick?
Oh, wow. First I would change where I live, which is Highland Park. I would just, make it just beautiful like it was. Because when you live around beauty, you can think better. Your mind is clearer, That's the first thing. The second thing I would do is make all of my children's businesses work just really magical for them. In my business, I raised 3 entrepreneurs.
Yes.
I did, and I suggest, y'all have children. I suggest you always keep your little children with you in your business. I always kept my children in my business. They always was, when I been, they was under the table asleep or running around getting to know the other vendors.
Tell us about your son's business. It's also a Highland Park business.
Yes.
Yes.
Fry's New Look Optical is up there on
You're going to get
Woodward
your
and
glasses.
Avalon.
Come get your glasses from the black man.
And it's growing every day, and he's been there like 2 years, so it's growing every day. And he, I have a brother that's in business, so he can refer you to the doctor there until he get his doctor
Awesome.
and come and fill the prescription. So that's beautiful. And then I have another son he's a personal training. he loved working out. So
I need to call him.
Oh, he get you tight. I've noticed the sisters that's been consistent with him. Oh, their bodies are just beautiful. I mean, they have dropped 20 and 30 pounds, and he's very good at what he does.
Because your sons play football with my son.
Highland Park.
Yes, that's right.
They made Highland Park so beautiful from 2005. All the city was out watching the games.
Exactly. I
The
remember
whole
those
city
things.
was out. Oh my God, when the Jets played.
Yes.
See, Magic Wand. I would bring those days back because we were so good. And, with beautification, if Highland Park
Yes.
could just send something out and say people cut the grass, and they cut the grass where the grass is grown. We don't want to come from across 8 Mile and look like we done stepped into some different.
Right. So hold that thought because we want to come back with your other 2 wishes.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
Be right back.
How you see the world is everything.
Oh my God, girl, you take all day.
Oh, hi.
How you doing, Luna?
The people you trust,
Stay safe. Go.
your community,
You rolling with the pain today.
I'm gonna show you how it's done, Pain. In the best and the worst times. Ma'am, stop! Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. I see myself in the people I serve. Hi.
Officer Luna, Officer Luna.
Sweet. Girl, you know you can do my job, right?
Hi, this is LaWanda.
This is RJ Watkins.
Coming to you to bring you some information about the #1 detox in the nation, Lemon Burn. Lemon Burn helps to turn the fat into fit. It's for you, a happier, healthier you. Because healthy is the new beautiful. An all-natural way to improve your health. It promotes a healthy digestive system, attacks and reduces belly fat, as well as gives you energy. Need to get yours today. Call 313-868-6612.
Don't forget to exercise and eat right.
It's time for your company to make the next big step. Hire a knowledgeable, experienced, and connected firm. Mario Morrow and Associates is a trusted media and public relations firm. We understand your vision and your industry. We'll provide strategic marketing, digital and social media, image building, and reputation management. Contact Mario Morrow and Associates, where success rules and results matter. Learn more at mariomorrow.com.
Okay, we're back at Lena'S Lane, and welcome back again. Again, if you want to call in and ask any questions, we have a few minutes left at 313-868-0342. We still got 1 wish of Nandy's to go. Let us know.
Well, you got to wish for $1 million. Then I'll do the whole beautification myself. I don't mind sharing.
I know,
'cause
definitely.
you pay where you live,
Yes.
And so you wish you had for the right income, to help others.
Yes,
I
that's what we
love
need.
helping people. I love helping the youth, and they do come with a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
And you said it earlier. It's not so much as the money that we worry about, because if you're doing what you love, the money will come. That's just how it goes. The money is going to come, and you can't concentrate on it because you won't ever get what you're looking for in your business.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
No. You got to have some other kind of fulfillment.
That's
or
it.
it's not even worth it.
That's
I mean, money comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be there forever. And my granddaddy said you can't take that with you when you leave this place.
Not at all. Not at all.
Kelly, I got a question to ask you because we grew up together, same peer group and everything. And I know when you start your business and stuff, you have friends you hang out with, you party with. You know Highland Park party. If we don't do nothing else, Highland Park parties. How was it transforming yourself into, oh, I can't go hang out right now. I got to go take care of my business. And then your friends feeling some kind of way about that.
Well, you drugged me out a couple times. Right? You know, because I'm not a big partier. You know, I do like to cohabitate with the people that I grew up with and stuff like that every now and then. But I was used to that because I've always been some form of a entrepreneur. So I've been used to cutting people off when I get focused on what I have to do. And
that's me too, y'all.
Yeah. My true friends will still be there.
Yeah.
You know, anybody else that was there or around for reasons that they shouldn't have been, they flee, and I'm okay with that. So
I think that's wonderful.
And you having your own business, you can create your party. That's the good thing about having your own business. You create your party.
Well, I party at Nandy's anyway.
You can create your party. We have open mic every Thursday night.
Definitely. She's been trying to get me to come on there for the last few years and do some poetry.
Oh, yeah.
And do
It's
some
been
poetry.
so beautiful.
Well, you do it, I'll be there.
Okay, I definitely will. Kelly, you're looking for drivers right now, right?
Yes, I am. I am looking for a driver, independent contract, 1099, you know, and you can pick your shifts. But I definitely need drivers, and you have to have a clean driver record, and it also will be background checks have to be ran per the state. So, yes, if you're interested in being a driver, please contact revolutionroad.com.
That's beautiful.
Nan, I got a question for you. How did you know about becoming financially fluent? Who taught you about the financial aspects of the business?
You know what? Young people walking in, young people asking questions, and then my sons going into their own business and saying, "Mama, you need to do this or you need to do that," because mine was always hand to hand. That's why I went into business. I saw my mother, you know, she was selling Avon, and I grew up like, I want to get my own money in my hand, you know. I don't have to wait for a check, you know.
Exactly.
And so, the youth just saying, you know, Mama Nandi, you need to do this, maybe you need to do that, and I was listening, you know, and I was like, okay.
Is there any thing you would like to change, like a part of your life that you would like to alter if you had a chance to do it?
If I had a chance to do it.
Would you change anything about your life, alter it?
Well, that's personal.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But,
okay, no problem.
For what I would change.
Right.
No, otherwise, Nandi
That's another
okay,
show.
You know, yeah.
That's another show.
But,
right.
I'm okay with what's going on right now. I'm okay with the quiet time of COVID. What I've discovered with COVID-19, what I discovered during this time is that we needed this time. I needed this time to think and regroup. I needed a vacation.
Right.
I've never had a vacation in business. You almost don't ever have a vacation.
No, it's gonna open
so
shop.
it gave me, after about 3 weeks, I knew things seemed like it wasn't going to open up. I sat my butt down and said, you know, we might need to go clean that room up in there. You know, so it's been quiet time for me. And you find out you really don't need that much. You really don't need that much at all to live.
That is what happened.
Yeah.
That's why I want a tiny house. If you can give me a tiny house, I swear I live off the grid
Go
and get away from
the freeway.
Yes.
And collecting pallets.
No, I want one that can mobilize, one that you could put on the back of your truck and take somewhere with you.
Well, I've been collecting tons of pallets. Want to be
okay,
one.
great.
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
I want to live everywhere. I don't want to live anywhere.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I would love that
Travel
house, but I do need a big house because I love to cook too.
Yeah.
So I
and
can't
have guests over.
Yes, and cohabitate in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay, Kelly, what entrepreneurial tricks have you discovered that kept you focused and productive?
Ooh.
What tricks have you discovered, like to manage your time, to?
That's a good question because am a procrastinator.
Are you?
Well, you're a creative though. A lot of
Yeah.
creative people
Yeah.
tend to be procrastinators.
Yes, and the tricks I have is like I had to force myself to actually get up and do something every day towards this business. I don't care if it's writing one line, one sentence. These are the little tricks that I made.
You picked up.
Yeah, I started
Right.
sleeping with books, like a notepad.
Mhm.
So in the middle of the night, my brain is still going in my sleep, and I had to get up, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Write that down. So then I make sure the next day I act on it.
Correct.
Entrepreneurs work, 24 hours.
And one thing I learned about you guys, I mean, even when we walked in here, you, Kristen, Kelly, Nandi, you guys know how to network.
Oh, yeah.
You guys really, we all three established like a great, beautiful relationship as soon as we walked in here. I don't know if it's a spiritual thing or whatever, but you guys know how to network. Is there anything you can advise, give some advice to young people, like how to network, where to network, or where they can go?
Yes, you have to never be afraid to talk to any and everybody, because you never know who is that missing link or that key party to you. Don't look at somebody and think that they can't help you grow. So everybody is your friend.
Correct. What about you, Nandi?
Yeah, she's right. You just talk about your business, or the best advertisement is word of mouth. And so really, if you're doing good in your business, like treating people right, like the young sister said, and set up a culture and an atmosphere for them, they're going to talk about your business. Just like Google, they call me and say, how are you getting 5 stars? Why are these people coming? And then they say, we have this program, you can pay. Why do I need to pay? People just Google what they need and they leave comments. And so I don't know about the social media thing, but it's great word of mouth that makes the business work really good.
Well, they say that you never see a Mercedes commercial, do you?
No.
Yeah, right, because the quality speaks for itself.
Yeah, maybe Christmas time,
Yeah.
I don't know, when they want to buy it, and they bow on it and they put it in somebody's house. Never happened to me though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm learning a lot because, as you just said, like with Google, it's amazing that like large companies reach out to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, they're calling me because of the type of business that I have. And, I would definitely suggest any entrepreneur register with Duns and Bradstreet. Like, get you a Duns number because that is federal and they register your business. And that's an easier way to start building business credit.
Yeah, I just want you ladies to know that I'm so proud of you, and you too, Kristen, because you're a baby in this thing, and I think you're just so beautiful, and you're going to be so successful.
Yes, she is.
And maybe you guys can do some networking events together and teach some of these other young people how they can become entrepreneurs. Because me working in a university for 20 years, I discovered that we're teaching these kids how to work behind somebody else's desk.
Build their companies up.
Right. We're building somebody else's company up when we actually have the creative minds and the entrepreneurship inside of us that we can build. My mom always taught me that every person that invented everything was mostly a black person.
Oh yeah.
It was black. We invented the cotton till because we got tired of picking cotton. You know what I'm saying? So you guys are an inspiration to me. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a communicator, and I love communicating with you girls.
Great job too on your first show.
You're not an entrepreneur yet.
She's an entrepreneur. She is.
Well, right now for the city. Right now, I'm trying to make sure Highland Park becomes the Highland Park it once was when I was a kid.
And I'm 100% behind you on that.
Right.
If you need my help,
and try to keep us positive in the light. We've been getting such a bad rap, Highland Park, and it's time for that to stop. And it's mostly amongst a lot of us, our own Highland Parkers.
Yes,
absolutely. Henry Ford said, we got to be a team in order to get the dream worked. We got to be a team to make this dream happen. And that's what we're going to have to do.
Yes,
and
it can happen.
Yes,
and
definitely.
it will happen.
It's going to happen.
It's time.
It's going to happen. Again, I would like to thank R.J. Watkins for allowing me to have this beautiful moment. Every Monday, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m., I'm here to shine some light on Highland Park and talk about current and hot topics. You can always call in at 313-868-0342. Write it down for the next show. And if you have any ideas, just give me a call at 313-989-3174. I'm always welcome to have any guests and anybody who wants to talk about anything positive and bring a light to the city of Highland Park. Again, you guys, don't forget, we got up here today, we had Kristen from Backstitch. We don't have no tailoring companies nowhere around here. Y'all better check Kristen out at Backstitch. Let's not even talk about the tuk-tuks.
Tuk-tuks.
Who does a tuk-tuk company? I mean, I've rode on one, and I'm telling you, it's so fun. Put your seatbelts on. Put your seatbelts on because it's the most fun you're going to have riding around here. And you'll never experience anywhere in a city where you can come, learn, eat, get some knowledge, look at some artwork like you will at Nandy's Knowledge Cafe.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming. Hopefully, I'll see you next week on
Thank you,
Lena'S
Elena.
Lane
Lena'S
at TV
Lane.
33.1 Comcast, or go to 313 Watkins and watch it live. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you.